Author D.L. Tillery here, the Mistress of Horror, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, how about you press that subscribe button, give this video a like, and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. This week is the first episode of my book collection series. I'm going to be showing you guys a small part of my book collection as we go through the episodes. This series will also have 12 episodes in it, so it will vary on about how much I'm going to show you each time. It may also be genre specific in some cases. This first episode is not that though. So I'm just going to be introducing you to some of my books that's in my collection. I love books. I have an adamant love for older books, newer books, pretty much in any genre. There will be mixtures of every genre you could think of, and also a variation in category. The video is going to be switched over to the view of the books, and I'm going to show you the first shelf on one of my bookcases. In the video, I will explain about how many bookshelves I have of books. I think I may have missed one or two because I have small, like, little corners also of, like, corner bookcases that I have. And my books are throughout my house at the moment. They were all in one room, like in my old house, which had a den, and it was a small library. In my opinion, small library is a few thousand books. I do have around five. I have a screaming banshee because I am the Mistress of Horror. I keep them locked up. If you didn't know that, the books are throughout my house. So I have in my office, I have one, two, three full-size bookcases with books, and they are packed and jam-packed because I'm very limited on space right now because I downsized for a couple of years until I get into the house that I'm going to have built. Yes, that's a dream to come true type of thing, and I'm very much of a dreamer, and then I make those dreams a reality. I'm the Mistress of Horror, of course I do. That being said, they are condensed into the space, so sometimes when I look at them, it doesn't look like I have 5,000 books because they're not able to be spread out like I really wish that they were. But that being the case, that is the situation currently. In my office, like I said, I have three full-size bookcases left down here, and then I have a corner piece that goes from the almost to the ceiling to the floor, and that has some paperbacks on it. And then upstairs on the first level, there is one, two big full size bookcases. They have four shelves. These are very specifically bookcases. And then I have one, two, three short bookcases upstairs as well, with those that house books also. So it's pretty jam packed in some cases. I have full size hardback, paperback, softback. It's filled with comic books, graphic novels, horror books, of course, stuff, horror books, romance, science books on astronomy, books on tarot reading, books on different religions. Also, you'll find some of my heritage and Native American background books in there. So you're going to see a lot of different things in my collection. It ranges. I have books on different people. One of the books you'll see on the first shelf is about Diana. So this book's a different range. I never said no to a book. A lot of my collection came from me purchasing a lot of used books, purchasing new books, also books being gifted to me. I had an adopted grandmother, rest her soul. She would give me all the books that she would pass on. So let's say she bought a whole bunch of books and then she would read them and then she would give them to me. My collection grew extensively because of her too. She gifted me a lot of her books after she was done with them. She actually was a writer herself. She wrote more like theses and things of that nature, more professor type of setting. She was an amazing woman, very amazing woman. But yes, my collection is an extension of me, and I think book collections are very much an extension of yourself. That's why it's so mixed up, because I'm quite mixed in all the aspects of my life. I have a mixed racial background to quite a level, and I also mix things when it comes to my dance style. Like, I'm a dance artist, I say, because I fuse different dance styles together when I perform. Learned different ones over the years, and then when it comes to my style as a person, and then my style is also mixed as well. So if you thought about me as a person through watching my book collection that you're going to see, then you'll see that I am layered in my every aspect of my life. Everything I do is a mixed bag. In this series, like I said, will run 12 episodes. So please enjoy the video. I'm only going to show you about 18 books in this first video. I think the next one's probably going to show you a little bit more, but I'm not going to rush through it too much. But I also could possibly become overwhelmed in short episodes, because then it gets pretty layered as I start digging through the layered shelves that we'll come across later in the series. Alrighty, guys, go ahead and check out the first part of my book collection. Okay, guys, here we go. I'm going to be showing you my book collection. Now, this is not in order because after I moved in my house, things got moved around quite a bit. So, this is my current setup. It's on bookshelf. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And then it goes down. There's a four shelf bookcase. This is the first bookcase. I'm only going to show you like the first two shelves on this bookcase. There's so 1, 2, 3 of bookcases up here on this floor. That's the size filled with books. And then I have 1, 2, 3 short bookshelves up here filled with books. And then I have 1, 2, 3 bookshelves on the lower level filled with books. Rounded out about close to 5,000 books. The last time I counted, close to that. Anyway, the first shelf. You can see here the complete tales and poems of Edgar Allan Poe. I have 2 versions of that, multiple. So, and then this one here is Melissa Gilbert, Fairy Tale. This is Melissa Gilbert's is a memoir. This is mixed up because I like to separate my books by genre and author when possible. When I was in my other house, it was, but it hasn't been done here yet. Hear my crazy child in the back. The next book here is Joseph Fender, by Joseph Fender, Paranoia. And this is a bestseller, actually. You see here, it's a thriller. Obviously, Mistress of Horror. Then here we have one by Bella Plain, and that is called After the Fire. This does not have, I got this from a used bookstore, this does not have a cover. So, I mean, I would buy used books this way, but I prefer if they have fully intact. Next book, the fifth one on the shelf, is Thin Men. It's called The Conspiracy Club. I think you can tell from the title. This is also doesn't have the paper back coverings. This is why sleeves, listen. Jonathan Keller writes a lot. You can see his books going back to 1985. I was 1 year old. So you can see where it goes up. He's released a good amount of books over the years. Last one from this print being The Conspiracy Club. He also wrote nonfiction and even children's books. So he is quite versatile. So, yes, this was actually a pretty good book. I'm not going to go into detail about what the books are. That would take forever. Then we have one from one of my favorite writers, Carolyn Haynes Clark, which I wrapped. This is a mystery. I like mysteries. And that is her. And then we have Bone Harvest by Mary Longman. And it's a suspense novel. Then we have Beach Road by James Patterson. You know who James Patterson is. I love James Patterson. I have a lot of his books. And we have another one by Belva, Plain, Daybreak. Then we have, moving on, this is a romance. Coming Home by Rosin. I don't want to say that wrong, but the cursive is really a bad choice. I'm just saying, like it is. I can barely make out what the name is, so we're just gonna zoom in on the name so you can see that. And it's Coming Home. And then we have Stephen King right here. Bag of Bones. Everyone knows about Bag of Bones. That's the cover. Very interesting cover. Very creepy. Very Stephen King. This one. Oh, here we go. This is from a U.S. Today and the New York Times bestseller. Two of them. So it's a two-writer book. This one is called Crown of Vengeance, The Dragon Prophecy. Obviously, this is fantasy era. I read everything, if you didn't know. You should be able to tell from this right now. Then we have Sheldon here. This is Memories of Midnight. I'm not sure how many Sheldon's works I have. Quite a few. And, of course, we get Star Wars. Yes, that's right. These are not canon now. Star Wars books are no longer canon because Disney said so. I'm not even going to get into that. Star Wars Savior's Quest. And this is a autographed copy, which is cool. I love autographed copies of books. So that's a nice go-to. And then Susan Brockman, Into the Fire. So this is like a suspense romance. Nice mixture of the two. Diana in Search of Herself. Yes, I even have a book on Diana. I used to go to lots of thrift stores, and I would get lots of books. Sometimes they would have, back in the day, Goodwill would have days where they have buy a cart full of books. And you could fill up as many books in the cart as you want to. I would do that plenty of times. This one was actually gifted to me from my adopted grandmother. Any books that she had, she would pass on to me, and I never say no to any book. So yes, and I like Diana. All right, Elizabeth Peters, Lord of the Silent. I have a long series of this. There's quite a few of these. It's quite a few of these in this series, and I think in one of my videos I will show you guys all the ones I have together. A lot of suspense in this one. Good plots. So yes, look her up, Elizabeth Peters. See if her type of books are your taste. And on the end of this shelf, we have another Star Wars. This is Star Wars Battlefront 2, Infernal Squad. Lots of different writers write for Star Wars world. I'm not sure this is after the infamous Disney destroying Star Wars. But yeah. So I believe it is before that. So then none of the books are canon because Disney. But yes, that's shelf 1 of my book collection. So you have 18 books on this shelf. And I didn't pull out the Edgar Allan Poe one, but I'll pull it out now at the end. The Complete Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. It's nice gold. The other one I have is on the other shelf, and it has the paper sleeve jacket to it. So, as you can see, I got it twice. I bought it new the second time. It's down there. And this one was the used one. So, I love rescuing books. I actually like to shop on Wonder Books on the internet. So, I love buying a good used book. Alright, guys. That is the first episode of my book collection series. And I'm going to be showing a different set each time. It's supposed to be 12 episodes, so I'm going to have to show you more in the next few. But I feel this is a nice intro to that. So, what did you guys think? There was a few books in there. A few prized possessions, I would say. I tried to do my best there to show you some of the authors' names, of course, and the titles of the books. I didn't go over necessarily what genre they were from. It's going to be a lot of books in this. So I figure if you're very interested in just with the cover, possibly, some of them I showed you the cover in a lot of cases, and then the spines. So if you catch the author name and the title, you can always check it out and see which genre it is. I mentioned the genre a few times, just to give you an idea. Unfortunately, it is not organized by the author's name and or alphabetized by titles. That's because it once was before I moved. And you know how treacherous it can be to move with books, especially about 5,000 books. Oh. So actually, I'm going to get a count while I'm doing this series. That way I can give you an exact number. I did give some away before and things like that, so my number could have dropped or went up. It's hard to say. I buy books on a regular. So, yes. And unfortunately, when you move, a lot of things are lost, some things you can't bring. So my number could have dropped below the 5,000 mark, which will be, such a sad day. But it's kind of hard to tell sometimes where your number went when you have so many. I will give an exact number on the last episode of this series. And then I will also be doing the other series, as you know, that I already did the first episode in, the one where I show you my book hauls. So as I purchase books as well, then I'm going to be showing you guys as it's growing. I really can't get this banshee to quiet down today. She's out of her cage, and yeah. Maybe I should give her a bone. Kind of like a grow together type of series, those two, because you got the book haul and then you have the book collection. So even as I am showing you my book collection, it's going to be growing still. All right, so I will see you guys in the next video. Stay scared. And then I will be doing